What is up guys, and welcome back to my channel. In this video I am taking you to the hiker's paradise of Sri Lanka, the Knuckles mountain range. But before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button for the best travel videos on Sri Lanka. In this video we are going to be hiking some of the most scenic trails on the island while exploring the simple way of living in this hillside village in Sri Lanka, with a few surprises as well. Oh my god, take it! Our journey begins when you arrive at the Thangapur town, and from here you park your vehicle and the hiking journey actually begins right from this moment. So from the car park you have a small little hike all the way to the entrance of the hotel, but just before you get there, there's a quaint little shop here where you're greeted with a cup of tea to energize you for the rest of your hike. So here we are. You can just sit here and wait for your cup of tea. I was already made aware that there isn't any reception at the property itself, but I was expecting there to be reception at the town of Thangapur, and surprisingly there isn't. And this is the first time that I've come across an entire town that actually is functioning and happening very smoothly without any reception. So it's nice to think that this area is unaffected by 4G, social media and so many other things that come with having reception, possibly making it a great place to really disconnect. There are many areas from which you can discover the Knuckles mountain range, and for this journey we've decided to partner with Wild Glamping Knuckles simply because they are experts at curating some of the most amazing experiences, and Thema collection is known for this. And so we can see this actually by the way we are starting our journey to the hotel, by having this amazing hike and exploring and discovering the environment around us, but also getting a feel for the local village and getting to know what that's really like. So I think we're off to a fabulous start. Good morning guys, it is our first morning here at Wild Glamping Knuckles. We had an absolutely amazing sleep. It was the most perfect weather and we woke up to the sound of multiple birds conversing with each other, and it was really incredible. Today we are going on a hike, and it's going to be one of the most difficult hikes that we're going to be doing on this trip. And the great thing about this place is they do have a number of really amazing hikes to do. So if you are an adventure lover, this is going to be something that you're going to really enjoy. So let's fuel up, head out and see what it has to offer for us. Expedition begins. We are starting the hike from right here. We're going to walk it from the beginning and we're going all the way there. Wish us luck. So we're just walking through the village of Thangapur before ascending on to this mountain to begin our hike. And I just want to reflect on how beautiful just the walk through the village is. In fact, even up until this point right here, there's still no reception on our phones. But there's an entire community living here, and it's such a picturesque little town with just green pastures all around it. I was feeling really ill. I've been ill for the past 3 weeks with a terrible cough, and I was very concerned about coming up country through the cold weather. However, I just feel so much better breathing in this really clean air. It's a really nice experience just walking to the beginning of the hike itself. You live and you learn. Today I found out that we have wild strawberries. So this is referred to as a wild strawberry or raspberry. If you look closely, it does look like a mix between the two. And apparently it tastes a little sweet and a little sour. And it tastes sweeter on sunnier days. So today is a sunny day, so I'm going to take a bite and see what it tastes like. It definitely has a sweet and a sour taste to it. And it also tastes very similar to some other Sri Lankan wild fruits that I have tried. So that's interesting. It doesn't taste exactly like a strawberry, but it's close. we can forage for our berries on this Knuckles hike. All right, so we are now hovering over 1,400 meters above sea level, and as you climb you can see the terrain of the forest change. So earlier it was very grasslandy, then it got very shrubby and crowded, and now it's starting to open up and we're seeing this pygmy forest, which is sort of like a shorter forest, and the height of the trees are affected by how exposed they are to the wind. So this is kind of similar to the terrain that you see in the Houghton Plains area as well. So it's really interesting because within the one hike itself you see multiple terrains. We've done the hardest bit, so it's tapering off a little bit, still uphill but not as inclined, and we're getting closer to the waterfall. Our water is over and I've been told that I can refill with the water from the waterfall because it's so clean. So I cannot wait to get there, discard all my belongings and jump in this pristine water and drink from it. All right, we are almost there and we have made it to this beautiful plateau out here, this opening. And if you can see behind me right now, that mountain range right there, that's the tallest one, that's called High Knuckles, and that's apparently where we were supposed to go today. And I am so glad that we are not going there today because this hike alone is a bit difficult for us, but we're very happy to be going to the waterfall. That one is a 10+ hour hike and it's about 25 kilometers, and if you are an amazing endurance athlete and an adventurous hiker, experienced hiker, you can do that hike with Wild Glamping Knuckles. In fact, there are I think 33 mountains that are within the Knuckles mountain range that you can visit in this region, and there's I think 29,000 hectares of area that is covered by the Knuckles range, which is absolutely amazing. And it's really nice to see this completely different type of landscape here. For us it's really mind-blowing because we were just spending a ton of time down south and up in the north in Jaffna where it's really warm, and then from that to coming up here to this complete 180-degree change in weather and climate is just so fascinating to me, the diversity that we have available within Sri Lanka for exploring. So I can't talk more about that. That's just simply how I feel. I feel absolutely blessed to live here. Alright guys, we have made it. 4 hours later we have come to this beautiful waterfall. I mean, look at it, it's epic. It's like a huge rock wall and this stunning waterfall coming right down. And as you can see, Shehaan is depicting to us how cold it is by walking into the pool. I'm not going to get in, 2 reasons. I don't have my swimsuit. I was planning on getting in like this, but it's really cold and I don't want to aggravate my cough. But yeah, remember I told you that we're going to fill our water bottle and drink from this. So the best place to do that is right over there where the water is crashing down. So we're going to do that as well. I couldn't resist, guys. I couldn't come all this way and not dip my feet, and what began as dipping my feet ended up with me coming all the way here. So this is okay. I'm not going to get my chest wet, so that's fine. And I have my charged mineral water straight from the Knuckles, from this waterfall. It's so good. I cannot put into words how refreshing and how clean this water is. It's literally some of the best water I've ever tasted. Have a good reward of a waterfall where you can swim in. This is a really good one because it's not deep and the bottom is actually a very flat rock. So it's like a pool actually. It's not pebbly and difficult for you to walk on. One thing Thema does really well are experiences, and this is a perfect example of this. After our hike and swim in this beautiful waterfall. It is now time for our lunch, which we're very excited for. We've been looking forward to this the whole hike. And what an epic setting. Nothing could beat this. And of course, I want to draw your attention to the efforts towards sustainability and to keeping these places, especially Knuckles, which is a really pristine place, in that way. So we're using our glass cups for our tea, as well as our metal reusable lunch tins. And we have our tea and our water all carried in these lovely steel thermos. This is an effort that I really appreciate, and I want to commend them for this. Let's eat! Alright, so after a busy day of hiking through the Knuckles mountain range, we are making use of the extremely good weather that we're having. You know, the weather up here is quite temperamental, but we've been blessed with a really good day today, so we had a wonderful hike, and even now we're having really good weather, so we've decided to take the chance and opt for a lovely barbecue with a bonfire outside under some stars. And honestly, after such a demanding hike, this kind of barbecue meal is honestly the best thing to dig into. So this is really nice. And of course, in this nice, cool Knuckles weather, nothing like having a bonfire plus some to light up the night in the best way and just be outdoors in this cool weather and enjoy the warmth of the fire while having a delicious meal. So I'm going to dig in. Good morning guys, and welcome to our sweet little home at Wild Glamping Knuckles by Thema. This place is really special. It gives you that perfect camping experience, but with a little bit of that luxury element that you need for those of you who aren't really comfortable with hardcore camping. You have your hot water, you have that luxurious bedding, and you even have a couple of hours of electricity for the day so you can charge your gear. And I think this is really important, especially if you're someone who's coming to a place like this and you're a photographer because you want to go bird watching and you want to go hiking and take photos. This place has found that perfect balance to remain remote and to give you that glamping experience while also maintaining those comforts that some of us really need. The really special thing about this place has to be the fact that there is no reception. So it's a truly off-grid experience. The property is really cozy and tucked away by the side of this mountain and has 10 of these really amazing glamping tents, and it has one communal area where you can dine and relax and have your tea while enjoying the gorgeous view around you. And honestly, one of my favorite things about this property is that a lot of the people that come here are avid hikers and they're coming here to go hiking. So you get to meet people who are going to have similar interests with you. You can share a hike with them if you want, and really get to know each other while you're waiting, because again, it is very remote, there is no reception, and we are kind of blasted into a time in the past where we had to talk to each other and get to know each other as a form of entertainment as well. Another day, another hike, and today is a bit of a lighter hike, and I'm kind of happy about that, to be honest. So today's hike is to a beautiful viewpoint called Burnside, and it's about an 8-kilometer hike. So compared to all the other hikes, this is actually a little bit on the easier side, and this is something if you have like younger kids and you want to still do a hike and you know they're keen for it, this will probably be the one. So I'm very excited to see this viewpoint. We're going to be going through this beautiful pine forest as well that you see behind us, and of course the view around is simply stunning. So let's go up and see what we can find. We have made it to the viewpoint, and honestly this is a really stunning viewpoint. It's just you don't expect something so epic while walking through a pine forest, and this hike is actually, compared to the other hikes that we have done, a little less strenuous and honestly like something that's doable for a lot of people. It's also really nice because you get to go through plantations and a little village and some forests before coming into this beautiful pine forest itself. So it's a really nice hike if you want to experience a little bit of the local life and go through the village a bit and have that experience, but also culminate at this beautiful epic view. So if you are enjoying this video and you would like to stay at Wild Glamping, we are offering a 30% off if you book through the link below. And if you do book through the link below, not only do you get 30% off, you'll get this hike as an add-on complimentary. So what are you waiting for? Terms and conditions do apply. Now, while we were exploring the town, we came across this very unique building behind us, and while inquiring, we learned that it's actually a mini cardamom factory. So the interesting story about Thangapur town is that it's a town that used to be a part of a plantation community. However, that plantation is now not functioning anymore, and the town is just there by itself, and the locals still live here. However, some of the plants that used to be grown during the time of the plantation, such as cardamom, still grow in the wild, and the locals actually forage and collect these cardamom and actually have these rooms that they have built, which are like sauna rooms that are heated and fired via wood fire. It's so unique. And in here they have shelves and shelves filled with the cardamom that they have collected and that they are drying to prepare it to sell. So this is fresh organic cardamom that is being dried and prepped in here, and this room smells impeccable. It's so nice. I can't describe it. It's, yes, that cardamom smell that you get, but it's so much more warming and comforting. And this room is just incredibly cozy in this weather. So this is something that's really, really unique to me. And this is the cardamom plant. You actually see tons of these while you're hiking and also while you're walking through the village. And down here, these tiny little things are the cardamoms that are picked and then dried off to make the cardamom that you know and love. Good morning, guys. Today is a slow morning at Wild Glamping Knuckles. We're having another beautiful morning. It's a little misty and clouded and the breeze is a little cooler, but honestly the weather has been really incredible. We've been told it can be quite rainy, but we've had a nice mix of sunny and misty, so we're very happy. And of course we're seated down to enjoy a lovely spread today. We're having some parathas, idlis, ululu-vade, sambas and curries, all freshly made. And the thing that makes me really appreciate this meal is the fact that there is no electricity here at Wild Glamping for most of the day, which means there's no refrigeration. So everything is sourced from the Thangapur town fresh for every meal. And it really makes me appreciate every meal even more, simply knowing the effort that has gone into putting this on the table and how fresh it all is. This part of the island is home to a predominantly Hindu and Tamil community, and so you're going to see a lot of beautiful, colorful, vibrant Kovils like this. So when you are passing by, make sure to go in and check them out and admire the beauty that's within them. But just be respectful, make sure you're covered and take your shoes off, and you can go in your socks. Alright, so now we're beginning our hike for today, and we are going to be hiking actually downhill a little bit, and this is called the Heeloya trek. And this goes down through some traditional villages in this area all the way down to a rural village where we are going to have the reward of a home cooked lunch. So I am more driven than any of the previous hikes I have ever done to make it, so I'm very excited to get down there. And it's downhill, so it's going to be not easy on us. This hike is unlike the waterfall hike where you climb to a really high elevation and it gets really cold, ice cold. This one is on a warm day, especially when you finish the hike to this part at about 12 noon. The water is really nice, like it's perfect, and when it's a hot day, it feels very inviting to get in. It's not too cold and freezing. This is a really good hike so far and I'm really enjoying it. There is one thing that I want to touch on that applies to all the hikes on the Knuckles mountain range, and that is the topic of leeches. Now, today's weather and the weather we had for the waterfall hike, both can be categorized as good weather in this region. It was sunny, maybe a little cloudy here and there, but no rain during our hike. Even still, we had to manage with quite a few leeches along the way. Now, that's a good amount. But when it does rain, and especially if it has been raining a lot the night previously or has been raining continuously, you can expect a lot of leeches along these paths. So they're not really something that should deter you from taking the hike.
How the hell did he get in there?
It's something that you should be aware of. Oh my god, take it! And have good shoes. Preferably shoes that are not with mesh or holes in them so that they can get in. And of course, a pair of leech socks goes a really long way in ensuring that you don't have to worry about the leeches as much. Also, you can count on your guide, whoever it is, will be carrying some spray with them, which is like an alcohol-y kind of spray that kind of helps if you do get a leech bite to get it off without hurting yourself too much. However, don't let it deter you from taking these beautiful hikes. They are totally worth it, and the leeches are just some creatures that call this beautiful place home and probably add a lot of value to the ecosystem, even though I have no idea what they do and I really wish they didn't exist. I'm sure they're doing something really important for the environment. If you do know, please comment down below. The ultimate reward after an epic hike, and yes, our hike today wasn't that difficult, but this rice and curry, I would hike mountains for 100%. There's something really special about eating rice and curry in a village setting, simply because the flavors are so much more authentic, and it's just different all around the island, like we mentioned earlier, but especially in a village setting, in a local's home, it takes on a completely different level. Even for a local like myself, I get to try certain vegetables that I don't get to try at home in the city, that don't get made as often, made far more commonly in these areas. I mean, if you look at the banana blossom, that's something that's a bit harder to come across being made in Colombo. It's not as common anymore. Topped off by this beautiful setting, just makes it even more of an authentic experience. So we are having white rice with a delicious fresh gotu kola sambal that she just made, as well as a banana blossom sambal which she just made. We're having dal, which is also breadfruit, and we're having fried karapincha leaves with fried red chilies, salted, and this is something that's really interesting. This is jackfruit shreds, and they have been fried and they taste just like potato chips, possibly better. And here in the corner, I don't know if you can see, we've got some onion leaf like stir fried, and we also have a classic kokis here. And of course the banana blossom also has sprats in it, important note to make. So good, so delicious, and the meat of choice is salmon for this meal. Cannot wait to dig in. Good morning guys, it is our last day here at Wild Glamping Knuckles, and we have 2 more activities left which I'm very excited for. Number 1 is bird watching, and number 2 is we're going to be visiting Corbet's Gap. But this time we're done with hiking, so we're going to drive there, which is a great option if you don't want to hike anymore as well. In regards to bird watching, we left it for our last day, and the weather here is kind of unpredictable, so this is what we're dealing with right now. But we're still going to go and try our luck and really enjoy this misty, gloomy weather as well. So let's see what we can find. As you might have gathered by this point of the video, our time in the Knuckles was full of adventure and activities. However, the most amazing part had to be the nature and climate, which really does revitalize you in so many ways. After being disconnected from the rest of the world for 4 days, we felt like we'd had a month-long break in these misty hills, which was really overdue for us. And we have made it to Corbet's Gap, and this is an absolutely stunning location with an incredible viewpoint. As a drive, it's really fun, and people who like to drive off-road will definitely enjoy it. But even as a hiker, it's really stunning just to walk through and enjoy the different variations of the forest. It's definitely a must-have experience, and as I said, so many different experiences to be had within the Knuckles mountain range. There's so much that you can have no matter what kind of person you are, whether you want to have a hiking experience, a driving experience, a camping experience, there's something for everyone up here. So this is a definite must check out place, and I highly recommend that you do give the Knuckles mountain range a try. We will definitely be back to explore all the other variations, so stick around if you're interested to find out about those adventures that we are going to have, as well as if you really enjoyed this experience that we had in this video and you want to have the same ones and you want to stay with Wild Glamping, then definitely check out the link in the description for a sweet deal that we've got just for you. And with that, that is the end of this video. I will see you guys on our next adventures. Bye!